talking about patience. Yesterday, I sent out an email about patience and how patience is not one of my strengths, or I should say it was not one of my strengths. I remember when a few years ago, I would say almost 4 years ago, when I was really beginning another phase of my spiritual journey, and I was so impatient for things to move forward. I didn't have clarity in my life. I felt very, very lost. I was actually, I would say, in despair around just where my life was, the work I was doing, the relationship I was in. I really didn't know how to change anything, how to fix it. And I wanted all the answers right that minute. And I didn't really have any patience. And I felt like waiting for the answers to come. You know, I started to become part of a community where they said, the answers are going to come, sit with it, just keep doing these things, you know, start meditating, start praying. Other tools were given to me, and they said the answers will come. You know, the universe will tell you. You will know when it's time to take that action, or it's time to make a change, or it's not time to make a change, or, you know, whatever it is you're stuck around, or wherever the challenge is, you will know when it's the right time for you to move forward. And I really didn't believe them. I just thought that was something people were saying. I didn't really believe in patience. I really only believed in myself. And what I came to realize is that, I think I've said this around other topics, a lack of patience is kind of like a lack of trust in the universe. Like, if I think that I have to take an action, and I don't have any ability to just sit. Michelle just wrote in and said, when she thinks of patience, she thinks of sitting, sit. You know, if I can't sit and wait and let the universe, just like Louise is saying, that's so beautiful, like sitting, if I can't sit, then I'm not really trusting the universe. I'm not really trusting a power greater than myself to bring me answers and to resolve these challenges for me. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of making myself my own higher power if I think that I always need to take an action, if I can't practice patience. And that's not to say that patience is easy. By no means am I saying, you know, patience is easy, or now I sit with patience quite naturally. I still can be very impatient. It's like I'll be doing something for a month or for 2 months, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm ready for this area in my life to change or this thing to pass. And when it doesn't, you know, I think, oh, I've given it a month, I've given it 2 months, not realizing that within the realm of, you know, the universe's time, a month or 2 months is not very long for me to be sitting with something. And then Timothy joined in and said he wants to have patience with himself, especially when he makes mistakes. Yes, I think patience with ourselves is first and foremost. It goes back to the sitting. If we can have patience with ourselves, patience for ourselves, then we're going to have much more patience for all the other people, circumstances in our lives. We might not have patience with circumstances. We may not also have patience for certain people. And the way to cultivate patience with others is always to have patience for ourselves and self-compassion. That will also make us more compassionate with others. It really is true what they say when they say that all of these spiritual practices, patience, acceptance, kindness, love, all these virtues, they all begin within us. There's no way we can practice love for another person if we don't really love ourselves. There's absolutely no way I can be patient with you when you make a mistake if I'm not patient with myself when I make a mistake. There's no way that I can be you know, kind if I'm not kind to myself. I'm gonna just zoom out a little bit here so that you can see my hand, so I'm not just a talking head. So if anything else comes up for you that you want to add to this before we begin the meditation, you know, put it in the comments now before we all close our eyes, and do your likes and do all of your, thank you, Al, thanks for liking the video. Do your likes either before or after, so that while we do the meditation, you can get really still and find a comfortable position. And before we begin, I want to thank you all so much for being here and for tuning in on this Friday and making time for yourself, making time for this meditation, making time to practice together. So let's all get nice and comfortable, open up the chest a little bit, Roll the shoulders. If you're sitting cross-legged or sitting in a chair, wherever you're sitting, that's perfect. Even if you're not somewhere that's very peaceful or quiet, that's okay too. We're all doing the best we can. The important thing is to tune in and practice some patience. Like Tim said, patience for ourselves. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, closing the eyes. Exhale through the nose or through the mouth. These early breaths are really deep breaths. So inhaling deeply, abdomen, rib cage, and chest expand. And exhale. Patience for me is part of cultivating that aspect of sitting that grounds us. And that starts in our lower chakras. The idea of being patient is kind of like the idea of rooting, sitting, rooting, like a tree, like a flower. There is no hope for the flower to blossom if its leaves aren't established, if its roots aren't firmly planted. So it's important to keep that imagery in mind when we're struggling with patience, to remember that in nature, there are many things that have to happen in a certain order before a tree can reach its full potential, before a flower can blossom. There's work that happens underneath, and that's in the ground, that's the rooting. So imagine yourself rooting right now from the base of your spine. Sits bones are dropping down. You can even imagine roots growing out from underneath you, going down a couple of feet, 20 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet. Imagine these roots going even deeper into the ground, miles underground, firmly planted. Now let's bring our awareness to the abdominal region, the point just behind the navel. In yoga, we call this the solar plexus. In Chinese medicine, I believe this is the seat of qi. So bring the awareness there to the navel and imagine a bright light filling the body, relaxing the body, making it possible for us to sit with whatever comes in our lives. Take a few more deep breaths into that navel center, inhaling deeply, exhaling completely, inhaling, exhaling. Keep the sits bones rooted down, release the pelvis. With every exhale, releasing a little more tension. Hands can be comfortably in the lap, or they can be in what we call chin mudra, with the thumb and first finger touching. Resting on the knees, palms facing up. Continue to focus on the breath and on that bright white light at the navel center. The mantra, the universal sound associated with this chakra at the solar plexus is Ram. So you can repeat to yourself silently, Ram, Rum, rum. Or you can always use the mantra Om, repeating Om, Om. Synchronizing with the inhale and the exhale. And now that we are firmly planted, I want you to bring to mind a situation, a person, a challenge in your life. Whatever it is that's making you feel impatient, whatever it is that you want to change or that you want the answer to, bring that situation into your mind. Sit with whatever feelings come up. Don't judge them. This situation may cause you to feel sad or frustrated. This situation may bring up feelings of anxiousness. Even thinking about it may make your body tense. So notice the tension and then release it. Using the breath, inhaling and exhaling. And now we will repeat some affirmations to bring more patience into this circumstance, challenge in our lives that's making it hard for us to sit. Wherever it is we feel stuck, let's breathe into that area. As we repeat, I trust that this situation in my life is for my highest good. I believe that this challenge is helping me to grow, even if I don't feel it, even if I don't like it. There is something that I am learning from each and every challenge. I trust myself to be able to sit and breathe through this challenge. If I am not sure what action to take, I give myself permission to take no action at all. No action is an action. Stillness is a choice. Patience is my practice. If I feel confused or anxious, if I feel impatient, I give myself permission to live with that. It is okay to not have the answers. It is okay to feel impatient. It is also okay to sit and wait and breathe while the answers make themselves clear, while the path is presented before me. I trust that the universe is bringing everything to my life in the perfect way, in the perfect time. I trust that I am part of a much bigger picture, and that this challenge in my life that is making me impatient will be resolved in due time. I trust the infinite intelligence of a power greater than myself to bring me everything I desire, everything I seek, in the perfect way and in the perfect time. By sitting, breathing, and meditating, I become more comfortable with the practice of patience. Continue silently to yourself with any of those affirmations or with your own affirmation. Breathe, inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Continue silently for a few breaths, continuing to repeat a mantra or just focusing on the breath. We will close with a prayer for patience for ourselves. I ask for patience for myself, patience as I grow and change, as I make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. I ask for the support of a higher power to help me to have patience and compassion. I am only human, and that is beautiful. I have unlimited potential to learn, to grow, to change, to improve myself and my circumstances. And as I do that, I ask for patience with myself on this journey. I ask to feel that I am being divinely guided at every step of the journey. And for patience, for all the challenges, rocks, roadblocks that may come onto my path, knowing that each and every one is put there for a reason, and that I have both the power and the patience to move forward. Taking a few more deep breaths, feeling that light growing, emanating from your root, emanating from the solar plexus, emanating from the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the Sahasrara chakra above the head, the halo. Let the light continue to emanate. And when you're ready, you can slowly and gently start to move some muscles in the body and gently open the eyes. Taking a deep breath, coming back into this space without rushing. You can continue your meditation if you'd like. I'd like to thank everyone for joining. If you have any questions or anything came up for you in the meditation, you can leave them in the comments. What does patience feel like? How do you feel differently now than you did at the start of the meditation? Hopefully a little more peaceful and a little bit more patient. And I wanted to say just a few words about the difference between being patient and being stuck. And really what comes up for me when I think about being patient versus being stuck. If I am doing all the things that I know I need to do for myself and my spiritual practice, if I'm meditating, if I'm reading literature that inspires me on a regular basis, if I'm praying, if I'm breathing, if I'm going through the motions of whatever my duties are, my work, in my relationships, in my practices, in my teaching, in my learning, if I'm doing all of that and the answers still aren't really coming, then it's time for me to be patient, because I am doing the things. I'm doing what I know soothes and nurtures my soul and helps me to grow. And then it's time for me to practice patience with myself and with the universe, and to trust that while I'm doing these things, even if I don't feel like my life is changing, the work that I'm doing is happening on a much deeper level. Sometimes we don't see, it's like the tip of the iceberg. We don't see everything that goes on underneath. So we only see the flower bloom, but we don't see all of the work that went on underneath, and all of the roots and everything that has to happen for that to happen. And same thing with ourselves. So if I'm doing all the things and the answers still aren't coming, that's when I turn to pray for patience, and I ask for help with being patient with myself and my circumstances. Being stuck is when I'm not doing the things. There are changes in my life that I know I want to make, or I'm resisting my spiritual practice. I'm not sitting for meditation. I'm feeling irritable. And we might feel irritable while we're practicing patience, but I think when we're stuck, there's more resistance. And the resistance is what creates the stuckness. So we stop our practice, and we start to take actions without clarity. Those are examples of what being stuck feels like. And the primary difference is that with patience, we continue to go through the motions and we trust that the answer is coming. With stuckness, we're not taking any motions positive at all for ourselves. And in stuckness, usually what we're doing is either delaying or resisting something that we know is important for our lives, but that we are coming up against and we're not surrendered to. And so that's where the stuckness comes in. So I would love to hear from you. What does it feel like for you and your body and in your soul when you're patient? And what does it feel like when you're stuck? It's something that I've been thinking a little bit about, because I really feel in my life right now, I'm in a place where I'm practicing patience and I don't feel stuck. But there have also been times in my life where I did feel stuck. And those were times when I really had to reignite my spiritual practice. So I hope this helps. I hope this meditation helps. You can practice it anytime you're feeling irritable or impatient. And enjoy. Let me know what you think. Let me know what transforms for you. And I will see you next week. Every Friday at 10 a.m. is the intention to bring this community together and for all of us to start to practice together and to build up the energy and to build the audience so that we have more and more people from all over the world joining us. And I'm so grateful to you for being here. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments around your journey and patience and stuckness and all of it. I wish you a beautiful day, a wonderful weekend. Om Tat Sat. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.